A local nonprofit says their longtime mission of helping grieving families may be in jeopardy. Pafua Yang joins us now and tells us more. Pafua?
Delane, Friends of the Angel is eagerly seeking a new signature sponsor after losing theirs recently. Maple Grove Hospital has sponsored and donated thousands of dollars to Friends of the Angel throughout the years. Friends of the Angel is a remembrance group that supports community members after losing a loved one. These support systems and events usually takes place around the Angel of Hope statue in Maple Grove. Now that the hospital is no longer sponsoring the group, they will have to scale back on some of their events like vigils and the brick dedication ceremonies. That has members worried some people might not get the support they need.
One of our missions is to help people foster that connection with the angel and let you know that you're not alone. Seeing all the bricks around and having activities where the brick owners can come together and connect and share and just learn from each other and support each other. Without our group, it might be more difficult to do that. And people might not get the hope and the healing that this angel really could provide.
Every year, Friends of the Angel hosts a large event called Walk to Remember. That event will still happen in May. However, the organization will make some changes this year due to their monetary constraints. We do have more information about this group on our website, ccxmedia.org, if you'd like to learn more about their mission or their needs. Delane?
All right, thank you, Pafua. Brooklyn Park is making plans to install the first cricket field in a city park. The city met with residents this week to talk about what else is planned for Hartkopf Park.
For us, it'd be the walking trails, the lighted walking trails, and preserving the oak trees. I think it'd be a shame to get rid of those, but yeah, those two are our biggest priorities.
Besides keeping the lit trails, plans for Hartkopf Park include installing restrooms, refurbishing basketball courts, putting in that official cricket field, and turning ball fields into multi-purpose fields. The city engaged with the community back in 2012, but it wasn't until passage of the park bond that they had the money to make several changes.
A lot of what we want to do is really to make sure that we're taking a look at our school connectivity through the park to get to the elementary school right adjacent to it. We want to then take a look at our pathways.
Construction wouldn't begin until 2021. The city is also looking at making improvements to Norwood and Lakeland Park. The fastest skiers in the world will make their way to Theodore Wirth Park in Golden Valley this March for the Cross Country World Cup. And when the athletes get here, they won't have to worry about trail conditions. This past week, members of the Minneapolis Park Board and the Lopet Foundation celebrated the completion of a variety of infrastructure improvements made to Theodore Wirth Park. One of the changes includes 7 new hydrants for snowmaking. Park officials say the improvements allow them to double their snowmaking capacity while not having to worry about the temperature outside.
This project not only will save time, but it'll save money. It will save really energy while really improving the outdoor experience for all of the community and for the people that visit here every year, especially in the winter, of course.
The Cross Country World Cup will take place from March 14th through 17th at Theodore Wirth Park. A juried arts exhibition that began as Arts in Harmony in Elk River 25 years ago has grown into a much anticipated event at the Hopkins Center for the Arts. Neil Persley tells us more about Arts North International.
This is Arts North International. It's an international juried exhibition. It's in its 25th year.
I hate to sound sensational, but of all the art exhibitions I've covered lately, the one currently up at the Hopkins Center for the Arts is truly the most dynamic, diverse, and high-quality show I've seen in a long, long time.
This year we had more than 900 entries, and of those, 173 were chosen for display by the jurors.
The level of competition was stout, and the overall quality of the whole exhibit bears that out.
There's work on display from 27 states, from Alaska to Florida, from Hawaii to New Hampshire, as well as 3 provinces of Canada and 5 countries overall.
I chose to cover the opening night last week and was prepared for the brie and croissant, flash, and fanfare, but I wasn't prepared for the sheer volume of truly excellent works across all disciplines. Christine Tierney, who paints in the tradition of the masters, rightfully had an award-winning piece on display.
Oh, it's amazing. I didn't know what to expect, and there are all sorts of styles and mediums represented here, and it's an amazing show. It really is. Very exciting. Christopher Lane had a piece accepted and made the trek in from South Carolina.
Honestly, I didn't know what I was walking in. I had a concept of it, but to come in here, it's just, and the artwork, I mean, the talent here is pretty incredible. I'm kind of intimidated by it.
From the Hopkins Center for the Arts, Neil Persley, CCX News.
The Arts North International Exhibition will be on display through February 15th. Admission is free. This Sunday, Vikings fans might be a little bitter about not playing in the NFC Championship game. A state lawmaker from Golden Valley had a friendly bet riding on the game last week. Unfortunately, Representative Mike Freiberg lost his bet with a California Assembly member when the Vikings lost to the 49ers. As a result, Freiberg made a donation to the Society of St. Vincent de Paul in Sonoma County. But the California lawmaker offered to pay up too, contributing to the Golden Valley charity Prism.
The Champlin Park boys hockey team is still searching for consistency, but they're playing well in January. Here's Jason Melillo with more.
Champlin Park is a pretty young squad this season, and there have been growing pains. But the Rebels might be finding their stride in 2020.
We've been playing really well together and just like playing as a complete team and just getting shots on net and keeping everything simple.
We haven't turned the puck over at the blue line as much. We've moved the puck a lot better and just really focused on getting a lot more shots than just trying to dangle through people.
Tom Potter is in his first season as the sole head coach at Champlin Park, but he's been with the program for almost a decade. He's also a Champlin Park alum and is passionate about Rebel hockey.
Champlin has always been known as the team that, you know, they're a 4 seed. Maybe they get lucky to get a 3 seed, but they don't make it far into the playoffs, and that's the mentality we got to change here. Is just the fact that we expect to go farther, and we expect to be a team that's going to contend year in and year out, and I think we're getting to that point now. And the guys, you know, coming up their bantams and now that are on the high school team, they've started to win a little bit more, and they know that they can beat these teams, and the knowing and the confidence goes a long way when it comes to actually performing and beating teams.
In many of its losses this winter, Champlin Park has struggled to play 3 complete periods. There's about a month left in the regular season, and to make a playoff run, the Rebels will have to rectify that.
It's understanding that, okay, we played well in the first period, now we need to even play better in the second period. You know, smarter hockey, you know, keep it even simplified even more. And, you know, when we do that, we end up coming out and winning some hockey games, you know. But when we don't take it, you know, honestly and try to think that we're gonna skate through somebody, it turns around on us pretty quick.
The goal for us is definitely make it past the first round, because historically we've been knocked out in the first round quite a bit. It'd be really nice to get to the section championship and then make it to the state tournament, but we'll take it by game.
Jason Melillo, CCX Sports.
Well, the Park Center wrestling program has had pockets of success, but hasn't generally been strong. The Pirates are working hard to change that this season. Seeing the growth in number of wrestlers and the competitive level has been fun for the Pirates.
I went through the program like as a 7th grader, and it wasn't really a good team. You know, we had 14 members or 14 teammates, so it's really interesting to see how it grows. You know, how it went from nothing, like 14 members to 40 people now in the room. So
ever since my freshman year, we've been like steadily growing our team, and it's just been amazing seeing, like, you know, finally our program being full, like 40 kids coming in. It's great.
I can't take all the credit for sure. We've got a great group of kids. They've responded to our coaching. They've stepped up. They've put in a ton of extra work, and so so that's why we've seen some positive results this year.
Female wrestlers make up part of that growth. Park Center has a handful of girls in the program.
It's tough, you know, when they're working with the guys, but we're hopeful that in the next few years, or maybe even sooner, that we'll see sanctioned girls wrestling, just so that it becomes a little bit more equitable and fair for them. But it's encouraging. It's fresh energy. It's like visible inspiration, you know.
The Pirates are 5-2 in dual meets and have consistently filled out a lineup, something that isn't true in many local programs. They've also beat some teams that historically they haven't been able to.
Beating Maple Grove and Rogers, you know, we never really think about beating them, but then, like, you know, it's finally growing our team, and like knowing that we can do it now, it feels great.
Park Center is still far from a top 10 caliber team, and they won't seriously challenge for a section team title. But they do have a shot at getting individuals into the state tournament for the first time in a few years.
Over the years, we haven't had a lot going to the state tournament, or either, you know, just competing for it. But right now, like I said, we put in our time. It's our time to shine, so we're just waiting for the opportunity.
Park Center's wrestlers are not satisfied, but they are happy with the growth of this team.
So Oyedokan didn't get discouraged by not quite getting it early.